Well, he's done a really, really good job for us. He's battled through a lot of adversity here, mostly injuries. He's worked really hard to gain weight, get stronger, become a little more physical player. And I can't say enough about the kind of person he is. He's graduated, doing internships, developing a career off the field, working hard to develop a career on the field. Always done everything that we've ever asked him to do, and I always think he's a positive influence on his teammates. So he's an outstanding young man all the way around.
Did that give you chill bumps? Because that's not even my son, and that gave me chill bumps hearing Nick Saban talk about Christian like that. I got chill bumps right now listening to him talk, because I know you, and I know how much you love your son and all your kids. And what does that do for a dad when you hear his head coach say that, a guy like Nick Saban?
Well, honestly, I'm sitting there crying because I know the battle. I know the battle. What he's gone through and the fight to get where he is today, and the dad, you sitting right there next to your father, and you can understand your kid has done the right thing and fought through when he could have transferred and could have played early, could have done all the things that we see kids do today, but what he's doing, and the head coach Saban, who's the most respected college football coach that I've ever known, said that about your son. And what his teammates say is an absolute blessing. I'm so thankful and grateful to the Lord, and still looking forward to, what's still left. So it's not finished yet, and that's the great thing that I know he knows and he's been talking about, and he's just soaking it up and enjoying it, man. And last time I was in Tuscaloosa, just watch him stand outside, and instead of rushing to get back after the game, he told the security guys, like, Christian, I'm going to get you through. And he said, no, it's my final year. I want to soak all this up, and I want to take pictures with this kid. I want to sign autographs. And me and him and his mother stayed out there 45 minutes. And you know what? That's what it's all about.
Yeah, no doubt. Obviously, we're talking with Corey Miller. Christian, I still got chill bumps, by the way. Corey, you've been around a lot of football programs, played in NFL 9 years. You've seen several coaches come and go at South Carolina. What does Alabama do differently in player development? They're doing something different, because your son, let's be honest, he wasn't a 5-star hot shot recruit coming out. They saw something in him. What do they do different than these other people?
Well, I think, they use the whole NFL approach. It's just, an organization, and they got a great plan. And, the great thing about recruiting, we get caught up with the 4 and 5 stars, and Alabama definitely have their share of those guys. But those guys are just stars if they're not developed. If that talent is not taken to the next level, I think it starts with Coach Cocker when it comes to the physicality, getting their body right. Some guys come in overweight. Some guys need to lose weight. They need to trim up. They need to change their body. I mean, they design those bodies into what they need, and to help these kids be the best that they can be on the football field. They do the best job in all of college football of developing the players, of body-wise. They do the best job of teaching. Developing on the field. I've talked to several coaches and players and scouts in the National Football League. They said that the Alabama football players are the most NFL-ready guys in any program in the country, and a lot of that comes because Nick has worked with NFL. He's been a head coach in the NFL. A lot of coaches that have come through are NFL guys. They get it. And then thirdly, I think when you talk about preparing them academically and to move on, regardless if you're an NFL player or not afterwards. So that means they got every tool, all the guys that he brings in to teach and speak, giving them every opportunity to grow and learn. The things that he says in this press conference is not just to be blowing things up. This is what they do. I've seen it with my kid. My son went there as a 17-year-old, 215-pound kid out of Spring Valley, South Carolina, or Columbia, South Carolina, Spring Valley High School. And to see him in his 5th year now, how he's matured as a man, matured on the field. He's a leader. He understands the qualities. He's a better man and a better person because he went through the program at the University of Alabama. And I appreciate that. That's why yesterday I'm just with tears in my eyes listening to Coach Saban say that about your son. And that's the place I wanted him, because I knew he needed that. And if he'd stayed home, that would have been the best place for him.
Yep, Dab.
Well, and I know, and Barry knows, it's always hard to stand in line. By that I mean to wait your turn. There've been actually a Heisman Trophy winner who almost walked out the door, but it's not easy to stand in line and wait. And I don't think maybe John Q. Public understands how difficult that is to do.
It's hard, and then it's hard as a dad to continue to try to encourage your son that to stick because I understood it because I was a former player, and I didn't have to wait, because I was a little bit more physically ready early than Christian was. I mean, his best days, and I tell people this all the time. I mean, we haven't seen him touch or scratch the surface of his best days, because one, he's playing a position that really mimics that of a defensive end. And the fact that when they were talking about the physicality of it and getting stronger and growing, because everybody runs a 3 wide receiver set now. So their base defense today is nickel, and him and Anthony are playing the same position. They rotate every other series, but these guys are outside linebackers having to play a defensive end position. So, when he's able to get out there and play a true Sam linebacker, which is what we call a 7 technique, an inside shade on the tight end, or a 9 guy, meaning outside the tight end. Really, when you got that space and you can work offensive tackle, when you can have two-way goals and really use your athleticism and your speed. See, right now, Alabama, you don't do that. They play so disciplined. They ask their guy to be a 5 technique guy, a C-gap player, and you got to pretty much stay on the outside of that tackle. So you got to just push and press the pocket. He's not able to just have free range and just go turn loose on a tackle. He has that ability, but they play within a scheme. So, as I told him, his best days are still in front of him when he plays a true outside linebacker position. So, but the good thing is he's learned to play the game the right way, having to play a 5 technique, having to be physical, having to take on tackles and the point of attack, setting the edge, things that you all hear. And I told him to fight through it because in the end, it's going to work better for him. So we're very blessed, man. I'm telling you, I'm sad because I love coming to Tuscaloosa. I've loved the fans and the people that I've met there. And leaving Tennessee last week was amazing. Just, so now I'm getting sad because we got basically a couple more months and then it's over.
Corey, everybody that follows Alabama football has always said, hey, they win with defense. Well, this year's a little different. I mean, you got the best player in college football. He's got great receivers. They're really, really good offensively. But on the defensive side of the football, if there's been I think some of the fans call it and say they're giving up too many points, get up too much yards. Just kind of, what do you see with this Alabama defense, and how good is this defense?
They're good. I think, fans get caught up in the numbers, and then they go look at stats, and we know what stats, they tell just a fraction of the story. And you go look at the first 6-7 games, Barry, the games were out of hand. I go back to Louisville and Orlando. It was a blowout. So that defense for the first 5 or 6 games never played past 3-4 minutes in the second half. So you're putting backups and you're putting a lot of young guys there. Then you start to have mistakes. You're giving up touchdown passes. And so people get caught up into these stats. I've pretty much been at every game except for one. I watch. If I don't go there, I watch the tape. Promise you. These things that they're giving up, a lot of times you got second and third unit guys in there. And they got a lot of different pieces, guys maybe trying to miss the calls. I can tell you, even last week, even with the starting defense and the 2 touchdowns that Killer Chris threw, well, they were all MBs. They were errors. I think it was McKinnon misread something. The safeties made some mistakes on the back end. You had guys wide open. These are not physical things. These are mental errors. So what they've given up in the passing game is every time that I've seen, it's not just guys getting beat. Tennessee made a couple big-time catches over there that 50-50 balls, and receivers are 6'3". They got big receivers. They make great catches. It happens if the SEC get used to it. But to say this defense is not as good, from a stats position, maybe. But listen, they shut Tennessee out the first quarter and a half pretty much. And so they did that to Louisville, did that to a lot of teams. Ole Miss, who has one of the most prolific offenses in all of college football, they scored points. Alabama went in their backyard, saw that 75-yard touchdown pass, gave up nothing. So this team is more than capable, I think, just because how they play Barry and Wimp. They play fast. If they scored on every possession, first possession, every game, they can do it, man, really quick. So a lot of times how they play, the style of offense in which they play, obviously hurts the defense a little bit because they score so fast. And so the defense gets tired. So they give up plays sometimes. That's been the difference. So the whole model is different. Before it was ground and pound, we're just going to maul you, with the run game. So when we have to, play great defense, rest our defense, let them dominate. Well, now it's like, hey, we can score 75 points if we have to. So our defense has to play a different style, and they may give up some plays here and there, but this still is a good defense. You just want a defense that can get stops when they need to.
Yep, yeah.
And you probably don't really want to answer this because you probably too much ahead. When pro draft day comes, are you anxious about that as far as the head coach of the new franchise that he selected by, or his abilities to, then he's got to be good. They wouldn't be drafting him at that particular team.
Right.
Talk a little bit about your concern about that, because I know you had the same concern.
About drafting Christian, you mean?
Yeah, about drafting him and your thoughts about that.
Yeah, of course we have to think about it because, it's the reality.
Yeah, sure it is.
The last couple of years, he's had a great NFL draft grade. And then he got hurt last year, but came back and played well at the end. Had a phenomenal season this year. So we know I hear from agents all over. People calling, blowing up my phone. I've talked to NFL people. I had the NFL call me a week ago, just kind of as a former player, help prepping me, getting him ready. But the thing that again, the maturity that he has. We talked about at the beginning of the year, and he basically said, "Dad, I'm not going to hire an agent. I'm not going to get in any of that until my time is done here at Alabama." So he's focusing on school, getting his master's, finishing that up. He's focusing on doing whatever he can do to be a leader of this football team, one of the leaders, to help them win another national championship. And then, I'll be able to help them. And the NFL Players Association have come to me and said, we'll be able to help you with when you're looking at and trying to find out things about age. Because here's the thing, I'll say very quickly that, we trust the Lord. Our faith is in the Lord and his future. And he knows that even last year, that's what we talked about when he got hurt. It was disappointing. But God was just preparing him for something special. I totally believe that because this is the word that's been spoken over his life. And so wherever he lands, it's going to be the place that the Lord wants him to be, to have an imprint and an impact in the locker room and in the community. And wherever that is, we'll embrace it. And we'll, say, this is where we're supposed to be. This is just a season in your life. Let's take the next step. But it cannot become a distraction to what you're trying to do here at Alabama.
Yeah, I know. That's the reason I hesitated in asking the question. That's right.
Yeah. Corey, looking forward, Nick Saban talked yesterday to the media about how you can use this bye week to get better. A lot of people, you hear their message, hey, we're going to rest, we're going to heal up. He's still talking about getting better this week. Alabama fans, and we can't wait to get to this LSU game. But just talk about maybe what you've heard from Christian for their preparation, more about Alabama this week and developing good habits, maybe developing more depth. What do they do this week, Corey?
Yeah, I think it's the self-scout time, and you look at, the 8 games, and you go, hey, let's look at what we have done, what we can do better, because they can do some things better, not giving up those big plays, not making those mistakes in the secondary, having a bad fit against the run. Coach Saban is always going to be, let's get this team better. Let's continue to help find depth, because you're going to need that, right? You're going to need that down the stretch, finding guys that can help you win because, with injuries or having to come in and play, whatever it may be. So it's all about the University of Alabama this week, and that's what they're doing. They're working on themselves. And then, you definitely want to give them some time off because let's face it, they got some guys that are nicked and banged up with some ankles, hamstrings. When Vontae got that hamstring, so we want to get him back. You know, you got Jalen has an issue too. So, you know, they got guys that want to get back healthy because to make this final push. But you know, Coach Saban, I went the other day looking at some film there, and it's like, man, they got some areas. They got some areas that they definitely shore up, and that's what they're going to work on. And they will be better, and it will be fun in a couple of weeks because I think at the end of the day, this is for the SEC West. I mean, that's just don't make any bones about it. This game has got that type of – this is a playoff atmosphere game. They got to be ready to go, and they're going to need everybody ready to go.
Somebody in South Carolina won the lottery. It wasn't you, was it?
Oh, if it wasn't me, I hope it was my cousin Ray.
Somebody won it, Corey. $1.6 billion.
Somebody in South Carolina won it.
Did you not know that?
Lord.
Yes.
No.
Yes, it was the ticket was sold in South Carolina. I'm hoping maybe it was Kerry Rich. You think he'll let you and I borrow a little money?
I was with the captain last night. He's on my show for talking Gamecock basketball. So if he wanted, you know, he'd probably give us $10 there to go buy some Coke or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coke.
Yeah, they got some. They got some more security in town here now. Until they got people guarding Tua as he walks around campus around here now. They don't want anybody touching Tua. How about
what has his own personal security?
How about what this guy's doing? He keeps saying, Dad always says, it's just passing catch. These defenses they're playing aren't any good. And next week, bloop, does it again. It's just passing catch. Bloop, does it again. Have you ever seen anything like this, Corey, what this kid has done so far in college football?
Oh, my God. It's been amazing. I mean, just to watch him. I tell you what, last week I was at Tennessee, and I was sitting. The last 2 weeks I gave me and the Tuscaloosa family sat together, you know, right in front of me, and we talked a little bit with his family, his mom, and watching them, they're so calm. And when he does something great, you know, they just sit there like it's expected. And this is a praying, interceding family. I don't know if people realize that family be up there praying, man. The game, they pray. It's an intercessory thing that's going on. And this kid is so special there. And he made that throw in the corner end zone to Judy. It was right in front of us, right?
Yeah.
And a couple throws. He one before that to a Waddle. And he threw that. These are NFL throws. He threw the ball before Judy in that corner zone even made his break. He threw the ball before Waddle even came out of his break. And if you look at it, you're like, oh, man, what are you doing? And he knew exactly where those receivers are going to be. Ball is out, and it was basket dropping. I mean, it was bread basket dropping. And it was one of the most amazing things that I ever seen. You know me. You know me for a long time, Barry. I'm very slow to anoint somebody something great. I mean, you got to do a lot. And we even had that conversation at the beginning of the year. I thought Jalen would be the starter. But, hey, you know what? I'm in the tour talking about Lord Church, and I'm shouting, amen. Hey, this guy, I don't care what they say. Yeah, he may throw interception down the road, and the guy should have threw one against Tennessee last. Well, it didn't happen. He has 0 interceptions. I mean, his efficiency is, and I'm going to say this, he is the top 3 greatest college quarterback that I ever seen as far as having the skill, the spin and the zip and the understanding and IQ of the game I've ever seen. And then he can improvise. I mean, and if they really wanted to utilize him as a 2-dual threat, he's got the speed. He's a great runner. But he is a throw-first type guy and gets it done. I tell you what, it's the magician of watching quarterback play in college football. And I tell you what, it's unbelievable. And that family, they love those kids. That mom and that dad, after they sit there, she hugs those players. Let me tell you, you know me. You may sound a little crazy to somebody, but I know Jesus is in that huddle with that boy because he's got a praying family, and they show it in every phase of their love for those kids. I mean, she is like the team mom, and she loved those kids on the board. I'll tell you what, it's a special time in Tuscaloosa, and even as a former Gamecock, I am just enjoying what I am seeing. It's been a heck of a ride, and God has been so good, man, and I'm looking forward to what the future's holding.
I think they may be praying for those $1 million legs, Corey. Don't hurt the $1 million legs, man.
They keep on. I mean, hey, listen, I don't know where that lottery landed, but the Alabama Crimson Tide has landed a lottery pick.
Yeah, that's the lottery. That? Corey, great stuff as always, buddy. Safe trips to Baton Rouge. They can be ugly over there. Wear your earplugs.
I'm gonna do that. But Barry, tomorrow I'm supposed to say real quick. Thank the Lord, I'm hitting that milestone of 50 years old. So, I'm very blessed and thankful to be able to do that and just see what the Lord is doing. I appreciate you guys having me on. Let me run my mouth. So,
thank you.
Thanks, Corey. Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Corey Miller. You can give him a follow. The pastor